Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here to work on my make page kit videos for the virtual crop I'm having this weekend from January 22nd to 24th, where we're going to make 10 page kits or 10 pages, 10 layouts. We're going to make 10 page kits right now. Well, maybe not all in this video, depending on how long it takes, but we're going to complete 10 layouts over the weekend, starting Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's time to get those page kits done. So the first page kit that I'm going to work on is this one here. It has pinks and reds. So I kind of brought in some pink and reds, and there is some grays in there too. So I thought, like, there's grays all throughout. So I thought it would be fun in this paper too. There's grays. So it'd be fun to have some that are grays. So I'm going to start with the gray, because I want some journaling paper. I don't know which one I want. I don't know if I want like the medium grid or the large grid. That is one thing that I have to sit there and I have to print pretty much all my grid papers again, because I have used them so much. I barely have any of the other colors, but the great thing about gray is that it's a neutral, so it can fit on a lot of layouts. I think I'm going to go, oh, okay. I think I like the larger gray. And then I think I'm going to grab maybe some, there's the polka dots, and it would kind of go with the polka dots of that. So let me grab my punch. Let me see if I can use my right hand. Every day I try to do, you know, something that I didn't try the day before. I don't think I can do it with my right hand only, but let's try to punch 3 of these out. No, I gotta give a little bit of help with my left hand, but that's okay. Okay, so the 10 layouts, they're going to be sort of guided or influenced by 10 challenges that I put up on the Facebook group. And this time around, I thought it would be fun to issue challenges that we're kind of centered around page layouts or the different types of pages that you can create. So for example, the rule of thirds. So we're going to talk about the rule of thirds on a layout. And, you know, as far as making the base of the layout. And then the bullseye effect, and which other ones did I put down? I think out of the 10 challenges, I think there's 10, out of the 10 challenges, there's about 5 that are around page construction, if you will. So all around, you know, the different ways you can construct your page or how the layout is going to look. Now here are, this is some of our new scrapbooking words. So I don't know if I want the white font or the black font. And I don't know what this page is going to be yet. So I'm wondering if I should just throw the whole thing in there. Yeah, I'm just going to throw the whole thing in there. Now, do I want maybe some other viewfinders? Maybe some 1-inch ones? Let's see in here. So I want to have a little bit of red, and then, ooh, let's put that in there. That's another thing I got to print a whole lot more of, is my the larger viewfinders because I've used a lot of them on my layouts when I was at the crop. Absolutely loved using them, and I use most of them. And now I need to print them again. Okay, do I want like a dark, or do I want like a red? Okay, I'm going to bring both. I'm going to bring some red viewfinders and some gray ones, and then I can decide when I put the page together which one I want to do. Now with these punches, you have to make sure that you're cut. You can't have a lot of white space. This one is actually harder to punch than the 2-inch one. Okay, like that. Now, in Patreon, I talked about, you know, some of my scrappy goals for the year. And, ooh, do I want, and I think I mentioned it here too, I think I want this one, that I want to make sure that I use my scraps this year. But another thing that I want to make sure that I use, let me see if I can find the numbers that coordinate with those. They're the white ones, right? No. I can't find the numbers. Should I change the color just so I can have numbers? Yeah, let's do this one. Just because I want numbers. Do I have white ones that have both? Like a white font? No. Where are all my white font numbers? Okay, I'm just going to put this in there and then I'll just deal with it. So, oh, no. I want to make sure that I use a lot of my scraps. But another thing, and I want to show it to you, and I'm going to pull from these for these next 10 layouts because I want to make sure that I get to use them. So what I did was I have a lot for my embellishment foundation. Now I like to add just some other embellishments that maybe have a little bit more depth to them, or like chipboard stickers or puffy stickers. Look at this little container. Oh, I even have photos in there. But look at that. That is just filled with embellishments. This cannot stay in there like that. Now what I should do is divide them by color, definitely. And I might still do that. But oh my goodness. Like this is a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this just quickly and see what else I can add to this page kit. Yeah, maybe the pink is a little off, but I think we can make it work. So by using or going in here and, you know, grabbing some of the stuff that didn't make it on a layout before, I'm giving it a second chance. And I'm hoping in my second chance that they will make it to the layout this time. Oh, look at that heart. I like that. And I like going through stuff like this. I think it's fun. But definitely I am going to go through these and divide them by color. I have these little iris containers that I have my embellishments divided by color. So it's going to be easy. Like once I divide them by color, I can say, okay, this can go with the pink, this can go with the red, this can go, and then just put stuff away. Because, I mean, this basket is ready to explode at this point. Oh, look, let's try to use that doily. Oh, look, a bunch of pink. So let's try, I want to put pink, because I find pink and red go really well, and then you have the gray. That'd be good for my 2020 December daily. Let's put that to the side and try to use that in there. I won't be starting that for probably in February is when I'm going to start it. This is red. I'm going to start it in February. I had made some stickers, or not stickers, but this was Mason's hockey team last year, and we had done something for their team. So I still have a couple of those. So if I, you know, scrapbook some of his hockey from last year, which really I need to do. I need to do that. Let's grab a few tags. There we go. I'll put 2 different doilies and then I can choose which one I want. Okay, I think this is good. This is a good amount. So I'm going to stop here. And in between each of the page kits, I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to put these into some plastic baggie. I'll take the next one out. I'll make sure that I have my file with the right color for the digital prints. And I think per video, I'm going to try and do maybe 3, 3, and 4. So I'll have one going up on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then the crop is on Friday. But I want you to see what I have to work with to work on these pages. The next page kit is this one here, and I'm going to concentrate on the gray and the yellow. So I went to our new Scrapbooking Words 1. There's going to be another one that's going to go out this week, but I went and got in the yellow and the gray. Then I can decide whichever way I want to go. I did grab the Radiant Rainbow file because the yellow in that really goes well with this. So I'm going to grab the big viewfinder out of that. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I just want them there. And then maybe, because I want to use the big viewfinders in gray for this. So maybe I can cut some of these out. These are 1.5 inch size. So I'm going to punch these out. So what I was talking about in the first, oof, yeah, I can't push down yet. I can squeeze, I can't push down with my right hand yet. Little baby steps, little baby steps. My hand is really sore this week, and I think maybe it's because I'm using it all the time, but you know, we'll see. It's really sore right here, and you know, the 2 places it broke, which kind of makes sense. It just feels, you know, tired and sore. So what I tried to talk to you in the first 10 minutes, and it's still fairly early, so I think my brain was kind of asleep. But the page designs, that's what I wanted to say. The page designs that we're going to work with the challenges, I think there's about 5. And so let's say if I talk about the rule of thirds, we're going to make a page using the rule of thirds. If I talk about what I call the bullseye page design, cut it in half. You know, most of those, I don't even know if that's the accurate term for these page designs, but that's what I like to call them when I work with them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look in my stash of layouts, and for each design, I'm going to show you, okay, this isn't working. Let's just go to the gray file. For each design, I'm going to show you some different layouts that I've done over the years using that principle. Some other examples. So we'll go and do one, but then we'll talk about, or I'll show you, I guess, the different ones. There we go. Because I always talk about when I go to crops, when I start at the crop, when I start my layouts, I always, you know, have my go-to layouts. So these are going to be some of my go-to layouts when I go to a crop, and that's how I managed to get, you know, 22 layouts in a day and a half. There. And then all you have to do is just tweak it enough that that your page looks different. Okay, so I like this one right here, so I'm just gonna, I just need one of those. You don't need a whole bunch. And I know I'm gonna use the gray, so then it can go like next to one of those if I want to. Now I have words. Now I'd like some arrows. Let me see if I have any arrows printed in here. I do. Okay. In yellow, what could I use? You know, I don't know which page I'm going to do, so I'm going to kind of go generic here. I'm going to go enjoy and oh snap and stories. How about that? And then I'm going to go to the gray file and I'm going to grab some gray smaller arrows. I love overlaying the smaller arrows over top the bigger ones, but I want to do that in gray. And then after this is done, then I want to make sure that I get different embellishments that have a little bit more. Do I want to go with gray? Let's get a couple of these, the lighter gray, because that's the darker gray. Another thing I'm going to do before I do the layouts on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is I'm going to open up each of the page kits and I'm going to cut all the digital prints ahead of time. Now, if you've been watching my videos making the page kits at the crop, I just finished this week. I have them all done up now, so that worked out. Okay, I think that's probably the dark gray. So I want the light gray arrows. And one thing I noticed was that, you know, before I would start the camera, what I would do is I would cut all the embellishments all at once. You know, I would take everything out and then I would cut everything out. And I noticed that it took me 10 minutes each, which that's not bad. If you're sitting down at the crop, it's not necessarily something that you have to do before you go to the crop, because you're there all weekend. So I'm like, you know, even if it takes me 10 minutes, it kind of gives me some downtime. So I'm okay with that. But when it's for, you know, a virtual crop like this, and I have, you know, an hour to get each of the layouts complete, I want to make sure that I have the time required, which I've been able to get all of the layouts done in the time. Usually at the end of the hour, I end up chatting for a bit. Okay, look at these. I'm going to use those. And when I was walking to find the files for this, I saw this sitting on my desk. And I want to try and use this little frame here. I think I'm going to put the word love on the back like this. And then I'll put that little coffee cup, which is also yellow, there. And then I'm just going to cut this out. So if you know, my thing in the last few years is if you're going to bring something new in your craft room, you better use it. So that was something new that I brought in December. It was a Pink Fresh Studio order that I placed on Boxing Day weekend. So now I make sure that, you know, every time I make page kits, yes, I want to make sure that I use, like I said, I want to make sure that I use stuff like this. You know, it's sitting in a big pile and it's not used up. But I can sprinkle in some of the new stuff so that I get, no. So that I get the new stuff used up, the old stuff used up, kind of have a good variety of both. And like I said, I love digging through stuff like this and finding treasures. But next week, my week is kind of full this week as far as everything I want to get done this week. But next week, definitely, this is going to be on the list of, okay, you got to go through it and you got to divide by color and you need to put all of this away. I have quite a bit of stuff that I want to get accomplished in my craft room this year, and I don't want to leave it. Oh, where's those little hearts? Where'd they go? I don't want to leave it till the end of the year. Like, I want to be like, okay, I want to divide stuff by month. You know, for example, in January, I want to catch up on my 2019 books I read. So that's going to, you know, I kind of sit down and make a list of everything I want to do in the week. So that was kind of like on the bottom of the priority list to do this week. Just because the other stuff, all the other stuff needed to be done first. I make sure that I do stuff in kind of in a priority sequence. And oh, that's cute. So it's on the docket for Friday. And I know I have a live on Friday, but I plan on being all ready for it like before Friday. There's no way I want to be getting ready for a crop, you know, and on the same day that it's going to start. That would stress me out to no end. So that's why it's, you know, the 2019 album is the last. So the crop is not till 6 o'clock at night, my time. So I can get up and I can get, oh, I like that. I can get that little, that 1 month from that album done Friday morning. Okay, I think it's a lot of stuff. So that's going to be enough for this page kit. So again, I'm just going to stop the recording. I'm going to put this in a plastic bag, and then I'll come back for number 3. Okay, so the last one for this video is going to be this page kit. So I don't have to put too many embellishments on this because I'm going to use what's on this sticker sheet to do this layout, but I need my foundation. So I'm going to grab a couple of circles, or viewfinders, I should say. A couple of viewfinders, and then some labels. Oh, and then the rest, I think I'm going to be just happy with what I have there. So once I have all this done, my next step is going to be finding pictures. Or actually, no. The next step is going to be to assign a challenge to each one of those page kits. And then I'm going to assign a picture, or I'm going to find some pictures. And then I'll be totally ready. And what I do is I take a sticky note and I put it on the outside of the plastic bag. And then I have an area where I can stand up all the plastic bags. So everything is exactly where it needs to be. Everything's in order. And then when I start making the pages, I'm not, you know, looking here, there, and everywhere. And I do the same thing when I go to a crop. I have a bag that I put all my baggies in, and everything is in order. I can find everything easily. Okay, I'm trying to, that's pretty close. I'm just going to take one frame and I'm going to put it in there. There you go. So I have my viewfinders, I have my labels. What else? I'm going to add a couple of these in there, I think, without the polka dots. This deep pink, it's really close to that. And then I'll take this one. Okay. So I think this is going to be it for this video. I'm going to do the first 3, and then tomorrow I'll do the next 3. I'm going to do them all in one day, but I'm going to upload them on separate days. I don't want the videos to be all, I'm just going to put this right in there. I don't have many page kits to do, so I'm not too worried about running out of stuff. I think I'm going to punch these out, which is the 1.5 inch punch. Yeah, because I can put the arrows on the bigger viewfinders. So as I'm choosing my embellishments, I still think of, you know, how is all this gonna come together on the layout. I don't know what layout I'm going to do. I don't know what pictures. And again, this past weekend, when we did, for Patreon, we did a live. It was 3 one-hour lives that we decided upon. And so I had 3 page kits for that. had no idea what pictures, and I can honestly say that all three of them, it was like I knew what pictures I was gonna use for that. Like the sayings were really, oh, I didn't punch that out really good. One thing I didn't talk about here, because I wanted to make sure, I wanted to kind of say the whole story, so I'll, you know, say it now. But our golden doodle, a couple weeks, not last weekend, but the weekend before, all of a sudden had a big lump on his throat. So we took him to the vet, and they said, you know, it's cancer, and eventually he won't be able to breathe. And, you know, the prognosis was not good at all. And so we opted to do a test on the bump and go from there. And so this was on Saturday. On Tuesday, the dog went outside, and it was like snow and stuff. And I don't know if he went too close to the snow. Anyway, it ended up opening, because where they took the sample out, it had been leaking ever since. And I'm talking like quite a bit. And when he went outside and in the snow, it, like, I'm talking like blood was pouring out. And so anyway, we called the first vet, and they said, sorry, we can't take you today. Yeah, he needs to see someone, but we're full, like we can't take him, so you'll need to go. And they gave us this other vet, which was like 40 minutes away from where we live, and we're like, we don't know if he's going to make it that far. Like, it's bleeding. Like, there was blood on my door, all over the floor, like there was blood everywhere. So we called another vet, which is like 10 minutes away from my house, and they said, bring him in right now. So we brought him in, and they could do the test right there. And they said, oh my goodness, like he has an infection really bad, and he has a fever, and oh, he wasn't doing good, poor little guy. And they said, we think that it's not cancer, but it is like an infection. So they gave him antibiotics. They drained that pussy stuff. It was pus and blood. They cleaned it all out. They did a really good job. And then they gave him a painkiller, because they said, oh my goodness, he must be in pain, because it was so big. They gave him painkillers and antibiotics, and they said, come and see us tomorrow, we want to see how he's doing. And they said, what a good dog too, like he just let us work on him. He didn't complain, just laid there, let us do what we needed to do. And so anyway, the first time at the vet was $320, and we had no answers, right? The second time at the vet was $220, which included, I mean, it was an emergency appointment, which they didn't even charge us for. They cleaned all that out. They drained it, plus the painkiller, plus the antibiotic, $220. We were like, what? We thought it was going to be like $600. So that was really good. And then the next day, I'm like, you know, the boys brought the dog, and I'm like, here's my credit card, you know, because we know it's going to be a bunch. And it was $18.92, I think, is what they charged us for the next day to see him again. And they said, oh my goodness, he's doing so much better. The fever's gone, and you can tell, you know, he's doing so much better. So that was kind of the scare. I think I talked about it, now that I think about it. I think I talked about it at the beginning of the week. I mean, I talked about it with my Patreon girls, so I couldn't remember if it was here or somewhere else. So sorry if I repeated the story, but it's been sort of a big thing in our life in the last week or so. He's doing much better now. He's back to himself, you know, playing and all that good stuff. So, okay, so I think between that and the stickers, I'm good. So I'm going to stop the video here, and I'll upload that today. You'll see that. Like, I'm going to do 3 sessions, but I've put them together all the same day, but you're going to see it in 3 different days. But that's it. I got my first 3 page kits done for the virtual crop. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.